The Z06 dates back to 1963. Chevrolet and all of General Motors had signed on to a voluntary ban on factory racing with the Automotive Manufacturers Association. So officially, Chevrolet wasn't racing, but they were helping people kind of on the side. They were making components and parts and more powerful engines available through their ordering system. And the Z06 package was their attempt to put all of those components together and allow the average customer, the racing customer, to walk into a dealership and essentially buy a race car.
The Z06 historically has its roots with Zora Duntov. Zora Duntov is a legendary automotive engineer. He grew up in Europe and eventually made his way to America when he finally winds up at Chevrolet, bringing all that knowledge with him of what European sports cars were capable of, and applying it to a car like Corvette is really where the roots of the Z06 start to form. He understood what it took to win at Le Mans and what type of car it would take to make that happen.
And he started really almost immediately working toward building Corvette into a track-capable car. The 63 Z06 became stuff of legend. They only built 199 of them.
It was kind of a hidden treasure, and the first 14 or so Z06s, they were not sold to the public. They were put out to race teams. In 2001, the nameplate of Z06 comes back to the Corvette lineup.
They built it atop of a new body style that had come out a couple of years earlier, which was a fixed roof coupe that was both stiffer and lighter.
The C5 Z06, of course, has a special engine, not similar to any of the other Corvette engines of the time. And it's also the first time that Z06 becomes a badge on the car. Corvette launches the Z06 name again 38 years later. The C6 Z06, which ran from 2006 to 2013, was even more unique than the 5th generation Z06.
Dave Hill and his team developed a bespoke aluminum frame for the Z06, and that takes the lightweighting component that was happening in the C5 another step further.
The truly unique thing with the 7th generation Corvette Z06 is that it is built hand in hand with the Corvette racing cars, the C7Rs.
It had been winning on the track, and they were taking those learnings and they were applying them to the production program.
The 8th generation Z06 is truly bringing Zora's vision to life. We have a mid-engine car, and it just, in some ways, screams, I'm a race car, and, you know, I think Zora would be extremely happy.
Z06 is not an afterthought. It was planned from the very beginning. In fact, the architecture of the mid-engine design was done with the Z06 in mind.
When they decided that they wanted to do the Z06, which was the ultimate Corvette from a performance perspective, they knew that they had to put something special as the heartbeat, which meant that it was time to give it its own engine.
There was nothing shared with a previous engine. It was a clean sheet design based around the requirements for performance that we had for the car.
The amount of freedom that we were given to design this engine was a unique opportunity.
The 8th generation Z06 is the culmination of Corvette performance.
You make no apologies with these cars. They can take on anything in the world. We're mentioned in the same breath with true exotic supercars that you never, ever associated Corvette with before. But the Z06 takes us to a whole new level and was literally designed and engineered to be a street-legal race car.
The Z06 is for the customer that enjoys the thrill of driving. Yeah, we've got a chassis that's super responsive, is super capable, but it doesn't punish the driver with a harsh ride.
is just as comfortable taking a high-speed turn on a racetrack as it is taking her leisurely drive down the road to go out to dinner.
The car feels like it's just diving in for every turn. It's really urgent, it's precise, it's got this connected feel that we've never had in Corvette before.
When you're driving a car like the Z06, it gives you the feeling of being able to do extraordinary things. It's that visceral experience, that power delivery, that super high RPM, that immediacy that you get when you touch the throttle that provides a driving experience like none other.
Pressing the gas for the first time on that initial takeoff is a thrill that we will never, ever forget.
This is for a track-focused driver who wants a really intense, capable, urgent car for the track and wants to go beat up on their competitors when they go to the track day.
The buzz around the automotive world about the Z06 is intense, and for sports car buyers, it's even more so.
At this moment in time, Corvette truly is the pinnacle of engineering, design, technology. It represents the best of America taking on the world.
The Corvette Z06 is by far the best Corvette General Motors has ever made, hands down.
It's a source of pride for not only our company, but our country, that we can literally take on the best cars in the world and win.
For us internally, we looked at this as our moonshot engine, something that we reach for the stars. We go for broke. We don't leave anything on the table.
The feedback that I was getting from the car reminded me a lot of our C8R race car, and the way that I was exploring the limits of what the car was capable of in these conditions. I was trying to find the limits pretty quickly, and the car was giving me very good feedback straight away.
We are super lucky to work on this, and to be able to do something this revolutionary on the 8th generation Corvette is a big piece of Corvette history that doesn't get lost on any of us.
This is the ultimate dream car.